Your eyes fill with tears as you watch the two pink lines darken on the pregnancy test, confirming the news you had hardly dared to hope for. A mixture of overwhelming joy and disbelief washed over you. You placed a gentle hand over your stomach, a new sense of warmth spreading through you as the realization settled in. This is not a dream. I'm pregnant. We are going to have a child. Your voice breaks down with emotions as your eyes filled up. You were going to have a child, a tiny life growing inside you. You couldn't wait to share this with Jungkook, to see his reaction and maybe, just maybe, watch his usually cold expression soften. You took a deep breath, wiping away your tears and smiling softly at the thought of what this new chapter could bring. You got up, wiping your tears. I should give this news to Jungkook. I want to see him. Washing your hands, you walked out of the bathroom as you didn't want to wait and decided to surprise him with this in his office. Mr. Kim opened the door before coming inside the office. He was carrying a thick file and walking with his usual calm look. He gave a respectful nod as he approached Jungkook's desk. These are the documents of Songnam project. The land approvals just came through from the government. All necessary permits have been granted and the project is officially ready for the next phase, he said, placing the file in front of him. Jungkook glanced at the file. His expressions were serious and deep as he flipped through the pages. Good work. This project is critical for the company and I want no mistakes. Make sure the team is ready to start immediately, he finally said, closing the file. His tone was polite. Mr. Kim nodded. I'll brief the team and ensure all departments are aligned. Thank you, Mr. Kim. I don't know what I would do without you. Mr. Kim just smiled, getting up. Despite of being a secretary, he has that fatherly love for Jungkook and Jungkook respects that. Good to hear that, and I will be there with you until my last minutes. Jungkook nodded. Mr. Kim started gathering some papers before leaving when Jungkook turned towards them. How is your daughter and grandson now? Mr. Kim's hand stopped midway as he looked at Jungkook with a soft smile before giving a nod. By God's grace, the bad time finally passed. They both are safe and well now. Jungkook nodded. Hearing that brought me relief. Now you'll be alright too. It was hard for me to see you like that. My daughter and grandson are the only family that I have. I want to protect them from every bad thing. Jungkook nodded, completely understanding his feelings, the fear and pain of being left alone. Mr. Kim is someone Jungkook is so close since childhood. After his whole family died in an unfortunate accident, Mr. Kim is like a father figure for him, standing by his side. Jungkook still remembered those days as if it was yesterday. He lost everything and all the colors from his life vanished, leaving him alone and lonely. Only he knew how he survived those years. He may look like a successful rich businessman, but he was completely empty from inside until you came in his life. His whole world changed in a good way. He got a life he never thought belonged to him. I didn't get to meet Vian for so long now. She must be thinking I forgot her. Jungkook chuckled softly. Mr. Kim knows that you are the one who filled Jungkook's life with colors and happiness. You brought a smile back on his face that was hidden somewhere very deep, that it was impossible. Not until everything became about you in his life. Things related to you, your thoughts, excites him, makes him happy. I told her what happened. She was worried but prayed for the recovery of them. Actually, she told me she will invite you once you come back. Mr. Kim smiled widely. Whenever I think how nice and kind someone can be, I remember Vian. I'm so happy she came in your life. She brought so much joy and happiness in your life, and I pray that you both will soon have a beautiful family together. You will again have the blessing of having a complete family. A weak smile appeared on Jungkook's face as he sat on his chair. Mr. Kim also sat down, knowing Jungkook might want to share something, but this time it wasn't painful memories. The way his lips curled up, it's like he was happy. I don't know if I'll ever be able to thank her enough. She has given me happiness I never thought was meant for me. I didn't even dare to imagine I would be lucky enough to deserve someone's unconditional love. Mr. Kim smiled. You deserve all the love, Jungkook. The amount of love and respect you have for her, I'm sure she knows, and of course, she is so pure and kind. You are definitely God's favorite child that He sent such an angel for you. Jungkook was looking at his hands. A faint smile was plastered on his lips. Whatever it was, I just know she's the only pill for my happiness. I feel complete. I feel the happiest when she's around. I never thought I would have such a beautiful life, and I never imagined I will be so lucky to have a child with her. But I don't want to have a child with her until she wants. I really don't want to make any decisions for her. I want her to feel safe, comfortable to think about all this by herself. I don't want to hurt her in any way. Mr. Kim chuckled. You worry about small things, Jungkook. Besides, Ryan and you know each other for 4 years now. She trusts you. Love you truly, and I'm sure she would want to have a family with you. It would be a lot better if she thinks about it. As you entered inside the building, smiling but a little nervous as you're about to surprise him with very unexpected news. You were greeted by the staff and employees as everyone knows you are the beloved wife of their cold boss, who can melt his heart like magic. Good morning, Mayan ma'am. The staff at the reception greeted you politely while you flashed a sweet smile at her. Good morning. How are you, Mira? I'm good, ma'am. It's so nice to see you after so long. That's so sweet of you. Is Jungkook available right now? She nodded with a smile. Yes, he's in his office. If you would like, shall I send him a message that you're here? No, it's fine, I'll go. She nodded while you walked towards Jungkook's office. As you were walking towards Jungkook's office, your heart was beating faster. With every step, you were happy, but more than that, you were nervous thinking about his reaction. You knew he would be happy, but it was just your assumption. You were nervous how you'll tell him such a big news. It's okay, Ryan. This is such a big news for both of us. He would definitely be happy and excited. I know him. Taking a deep breath, you finally came in front of his office. You slightly opened the door without knocking because you wanted to surprise him, but you stopped midway when you heard him talking. The voices were low, but you could still hear everything clearly. It was Jungkook and Mr. Kim talking about you, and your heart dropped when you hear Jungkook's words. She trusts me, and that's why I want her to be ready. I don't want to have a child with her until it's her consent. She is the one to decide whether she is ready or not. Mr. Kim smiled. You always say you are lucky that Ryan came in your life, and there's no denying, but let me say this too. She's also very lucky because I don't know, maybe she knows how much you love her, and I know she does. I want to see you both happy. Jungkook just smiled slightly. His eyes were filled with love and admiration for you. He might not be able to show how much he loves you because it's never ending. He falls for you every day. Jungkook learned to shut his feelings from a young age, and even with you, it took him so long to become what he is today, but he never gave up. Before Jungkook could say anything, his eyes fell on the door where you were standing, silent. Your eyes were moist, hearing those words, even though you knew Jungkook loves you unconditionally. But this was more than expected, your heart swelling with emotions. Ryan, he immediately got up before walking near you and cupped your face. He looked worried, especially after seeing your teary eyes. What happened, Ryan? You came here. Is everything alright? Tell me, please. He thought something happened because you never come to his office without telling him, and your eyes were teary too. Mr. Kim also worked there. I'm fine, you said, placing your hand softly over his. Then why these tears in your eyes? Why are you crying? Again, what happened, dear? You looked at him and shook your head. Nothing, uncle. I just came to visit. Sensing that you might want to talk to Jungkook alone, he took his leave, giving you both some space. Jungkook looked at you. You're making me worried, Ryan. Tell me, are you okay? You nodded, slowly lowering his hands from your cheeks. I heard forgot everything that you said earlier. Jungkook looked at you confused. You said you don't want to have a child with me. Is that true? Jungkook frowned slightly, cupping her face again. Tell me, is that all you heard? He said with a soft chuckle, kissing her forehead. Jungkook, you really love me that much? Having a family with me, does it really feel like a dream to you? His gaze softened even more and he caressed her cheek with his thumb. Why, you have no idea what you have given me. His voice softened, his eyes distant, almost as if he were looking back into a painful memory. I lost my entire family when I was a child. For years, I lived without the warmth, without the feeling of belonging that comes with having people around you who care. Slowly, I forgot what that warmth even felt like. I lost hope of ever finding it again. But then you came into my life and suddenly it all came back. You brought back that warmth, that light I thought I would never feel again. And more than that, you gave me a reason to believe in having a family again, a home. His eyes got moist and you were silently listening to him. Then a faint smile appeared on his face as if he found something beautiful in that tragic, painful memory. The thought of building a family with you, it doesn't feel real. It feels like a dream I was never meant to have. Yet here you are, making me feel things I had buried long ago, making me believe that maybe I do deserve this happiness. So if I made you feel otherwise, I'm sorry. I could never imagine my life without you. And the thought of having a family with you, of creating something so precious, it's more than I could have ever asked for. And I never said I don't want to have a child with you. It's just I never want to do anything without your consent. You held his hands in yours before looking at him. The first time I saw you, something about you felt so familiar. You stood at a distance, yet I found my thoughts drawn only to you. You were avoiding my gaze, but I couldn't help wanting to uncover the secrets in your eyes. At first, I was simply taken by your looks, but soon I found myself listening, wanting to understand the unspoken words in your silence. I became tuned into every quiet moment, following the voice in my heart that seemed to pull me closer to you, and as I listened, I found the door that led to your heart. So I opened my own, laying it bare before you, hoping you would finally break that silence. I wanted to see you let me in, to let your walls fall away. I never dreamed of a future with you, never dared to imagine a family, because something inside me already knew that one day this moment would come. He smiled slightly. There was something in his smile that always melts your heart. His smile often starts slowly, almost hesitant, like he is not used to allowing himself that happiness. But when it fully appears, it lights up his whole face, bringing out a boyish charm that contrasts with his usual intensity. It's the kind of smile that catches you off guard, genuine yet a little shy, as if he's still learning how to embrace those lighter, happier moments. And when Jungkook smiled at you, it felt like every shield he had ever put up disappeared. Like he was allowing himself to believe in love, in hope, in the happiness he had once thought wasn't meant for him. His smile, so rare and filled with unspoken emotions, made you want to hold on to it forever, to be the one who brought that light back into his life. In those moments, his quiet, gentle smile spoke louder than words, a silent promise that with you, he had finally found happiness. You are the reason I'm standing here, happy and hopeful. If you are sure that we'll have a complete family one day, then I'm no one to say anything. I'm waiting for that moment. Your heart skipped a beat because the moment has come when you'll tell him that it isn't a dream anymore. You hold on to his hands tightly before taking a deep breath and looking in his eyes. Jungkook, that moment has come. I'm pregnant. Jungkook's eyes widened, his face went still as he tried to understand what you had just said. For a moment he looked at you in quiet shock, as if wondering if he had truly heard you right. Then slowly you saw a spark of realization in his eyes. You are pregnant? He whispered, almost as if he was afraid to say it too loudly, as if the word itself might shatter the fragile beauty of the moment. You nodded, holding his hands as you watched emotions ripple across his face, shock, wonder, and then something deeper, something that made his eyes glisten as he grip on your hand tightened. Yes, I found out this morning and I couldn't wait to tell you, so I came here. A small shaky smile started to form on Jungkook's lips. It was like he was carrying so many quiet dreams in that one smile. He took a deep breath, looking down at your hands holding his, then back up at your face. His eyes were full of joy, almost like he couldn't believe it. I can't believe it. I never thought this could happen. I never thought I would get to have this with you. He was quiet for a moment, his thumb gently moving over your hand as if he was trying to make sure this was really happening. Then he let out a little breath and his smile grew bigger. He even let out a soft laugh, like he was so happy he could barely hold it. Pulling you close, he wrapped his arms around you and rested his forehead against yours. His voice was soft and full of love. You have given me more than I ever thought was possible. You're my miracle. You smiled, feeling happy to give him another reason to make him so happy. He broke the hug and kissed you. I love you, Ryan. I can never imagine my life without you. Thank you so much. Thank you for making me the luckiest man. His eyes were full of tears. Wiped his tears, you still remember the man he was, how he slowly opened up with you because he fell so deeply in love. You don't have to thank me, Jungkook. You are my everything. I can't wait to build this family with you, and I know you are going to be an amazing father. He let out another small laugh, looking down and then back up at you. His eyes were filled with love. I promise, Ryan, I'll give you and our baby everything I have. I'll make sure you both feel safe and loved every day. His hand slipped to your belly, resting there with a gentle touch. This little life is already the most precious thing in the world to me. I can't believe we are here. Tears filled your own eyes as you placed your hand over his. I know, Jungkook. I feel the same, and I know we are going to be a wonderful family together. His eyes softened and he pulled you close, pressing his forehead to yours. You have brought me happiness I never even know I could feel. Thank you, Ryan. His voice was barely a whisper, full of love and gratitude. You leaned into him, feeling the warmth and strength of his embrace, the quiet promise that he would be there for you and your child always. And I'll be with you every step of the way, you murmured, resting your head on his shoulder, content and full of love. He held you tightly like he never wanted to let go, his hands so gentle as if he was already holding the little life you were creating together. In his arms, you could feel just how happy he was and how much he loved you and this new beginning. For him, it was like a dream he had never thought would come true, and now it finally had.